Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I'm Jennifer, and I'm here with my co-host, Tomas. Today, we're tackling a topic that affects all of us, time management.
Yes, time management is such an important skill, not just for work or school, but for life in general. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but it's how we use them that makes the difference. So today we'll be sharing tips and strategies to help you manage your time more effectively.
And we'll also share some personal stories and examples where time management or the lack of it had a major impact on our lives. We're sure many of you will relate.
Exactly. So, whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone trying to get more organized, we've got something for you today. Let's dive in.
So, Tomas, why do you think time management is such an important skill?
I think it's essential because it allows us to prioritize what's important. Without managing our time well, we tend to procrastinate, which can lead to missed deadlines and increased stress.
Absolutely. I've noticed that when I don't manage my time properly, I feel overwhelmed. It's like I'm constantly rushing to get things done.
Same here. Poor time management can even affect our health mentally and physically. When we're stressed, it's harder to focus and it impacts everything else in our lives.
And I think a lot of people underestimate how much time they actually waste during the day. Small distractions like checking social media or getting lost in thought can really add up.
Exactly, Jennifer. Time slips away, and before we know it, the day is gone, and we haven't accomplished as much as we wanted to.
So true. That's why understanding the importance of time management is the first step to improving it. If you value your time, you're more likely to use it wisely. Now, let's talk about some popular methods for time management. Tomas, do you prefer using to-do lists or time blocking?
Personally, I'm more of a time blocking guy. I like to divide my day into chunks and assign specific tasks to each block. It helps me stay focused.
I've tried time blocking, but I usually stick to to-do lists. There's something satisfying about crossing things off as I complete them.
That's true. To-do lists can be motivating because you see the progress you're making throughout the day. But I find that time blocking keeps me on track, especially for larger projects that need a lot of focus.
I agree. Time blocking is great for deep work, where you need to concentrate without distractions. But to-do lists are more flexible, which is helpful if something unexpected comes up.
Right. The key is finding a system that works for you. Whether it's time blocking, to-do lists, or a combination of both, the goal is to stay organized and make the most of your time.
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. It's all about experimenting with different methods and seeing what fits your lifestyle.
Jennifer, have you ever tried the Pomodoro technique?
Oh yes, it's a really effective time management tool. For those who aren't familiar, the Pomodoro technique involves working for 25 minutes and then taking a short 5-minute break. After 4 sessions, you take a longer break.
I love that it breaks tasks into manageable chunks. It's especially useful for tasks that seem overwhelming. Instead of focusing on finishing the entire project, you just focus on the next 25 minutes.
Exactly. It makes big tasks feel more doable. Plus, the breaks help to refresh your mind, so you don't feel burnt out.
I've found it helpful when I'm working on writing or research. It keeps me disciplined, and the short breaks keep me from losing focus.
It's a great tool for people who struggle with procrastination because it sets a clear structure for working and resting.
I think anyone can benefit from trying the Pomodoro technique. It's simple, but it can make a big difference in how productive you are.
Another method I have found useful is the Eisenhower matrix. Tomas, have you heard of it?
Yes, I have. It's a great tool for deciding what tasks need immediate attention and which ones can wait. The matrix divides tasks into 4 categories: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important.
Right. The goal is to focus on the tasks that are both urgent and important, and avoid spending too much time on things that don't really matter.
I think a lot of people struggle with that. We tend to get caught up in things that feel urgent but aren't actually important.
Exactly. It's easy to confuse urgency with importance, especially when you're under pressure. The Eisenhower matrix helps to clarify your priorities so you can focus on what really matters.
And once you start using it, you realize how much time you were spending on tasks that didn't need immediate attention.
Yes, it's a great way to stay focused and avoid wasting time on unimportant things.
Jennifer, one of the hardest things about managing time is learning to say no. Do you find it difficult?
Oh, definitely. I used to say yes to everything, thinking I could manage it all. But over time, I realized that saying yes to everything means you're not giving your best to anything.
Exactly. Saying no isn't about being rude or unhelpful. It's about protecting your time and energy so you can focus on what's really important.
It's something I've had to learn the hard way. Now, I'm much more selective about what I agree to do, and it's made a big difference in how productive I am.
I think a lot of people struggle with this, especially in the workplace. We want to be seen as helpful, but we end up overcommitting and getting overwhelmed.
Absolutely. And when you're overwhelmed, your quality of work suffers. So learning to say no is actually a way to protect your time and do your best work.
Exactly. It's about setting boundaries and being realistic about what you can accomplish.
Speaking of saying no, another important aspect of time management is delegation. Tomas, how do you handle delegation in your work?
Delegation is crucial, especially when you're managing a team or have a lot on your plate. I used to struggle with it because I thought if I want it done right, I have to do it myself.
I completely relate to that. It can be hard to trust others with important tasks. But once you start delegating, you realize how much time it frees up.
Exactly. Delegating allows you to focus on higher priority tasks. It doesn't mean you're passing off the responsibility. It means you're trusting your team to help carry the load.
Right. And delegation isn't just for work. Even in personal life, you can delegate tasks like household chores or organizing events to others.
Yes, sometimes we try to do everything ourselves, but that's just not sustainable. By delegating, you're not only managing your time better, but you're also empowering others to contribute.
I love that perspective. Tomas, delegation is definitely an essential time management tool that more people should embrace.
Jennifer, what digital tools do you use to help manage your time?
I use a few. Actually, my go-to app is Google Calendar for scheduling and setting reminders. It's great for keeping track of meetings, deadlines, and personal commitments.
I use that too. I also like Trello for organizing my tasks. It's like a digital to-do list, but you can move tasks around in a more visual way. It's perfect for project management.
I've heard good things about Trello. Another tool I like is Rescue Time. It tracks how much time you spend on different websites and apps, which helps me identify time-wasting habits.
That sounds useful. I should try it. I think these digital tools can be lifesavers when it comes to staying organized, especially in our busy lives.
Definitely. There are so many tools out there designed to help with time management, so it's just about finding what works for you.
Right. It's all about experimenting with different options until you find the right combination for your workflow. One of the biggest challenges with time management is tackling large tasks. Tomas, how do you approach them? I break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. I find that large tasks can feel overwhelming, but when you break them into bite-sized pieces, they become much easier to handle.
I do the same. For example, if I have a big project, I'll create a timeline and set mini deadlines for each part. That way, I'm not trying to do everything at once.
That's a great strategy. It's also motivating because you get a sense of accomplishment after completing each smaller step, which keeps you moving forward.
Exactly. It's like climbing a mountain. If you focus on the entire journey, it can seem daunting. But if you take it one step at a time, it becomes much more achievable.
And when you break down tasks, it's easier to allocate specific time slots for them. That way, you're not spending your whole day on one thing.
Yes, breaking down tasks is key to staying organized and preventing burnout.
Now, let's talk about distractions. In today's world, they seem to be everywhere: phones, social media, notifications. How do you manage distractions, Jennifer?
It's tough, for sure. I try to create a distraction-free environment when I need to focus. That means putting my phone on silent or even in another room and closing unnecessary browser tabs.
That's a good idea. I do something similar. I use apps like Forest or Focus at will to help me stay on task. These apps block distractions and help you concentrate for a set period of time.
I've heard about those. I think setting clear boundaries is also important. Letting people know when you're in focus mode can help reduce interruptions.
Yes, communication is key. Whether it's telling your family or coworkers, having that boundary can make a big difference.
And it's all about being mindful of how you use your time. Recognizing when you're getting distracted and refocusing can help you get back on track.
Absolutely. Managing distractions is a constant challenge, but with the right strategies, you can definitely minimize them.
Tomas, how important do you think routines are when it comes to managing time effectively?
I think routines are incredibly important. Having a set structure for your day helps eliminate decision fatigue because you already know what you're going to do at certain times.
I agree. A good routine can really set the tone for a productive day. For example, I always start my mornings with a set routine: exercise, breakfast, and then checking my to-do list.
That's a great habit. I find that having a morning and evening routine helps me wind down from the day and mentally prepare for the next one.
It's also about consistency. When you establish a routine, it becomes second nature, and you don't waste time figuring out what to do next.
Exactly. A routine can help keep you organized and ensure that you're making time for all the important things in your life.
And I think having some flexibility in your routine is important too. Life can be unpredictable, so it's good to adapt when necessary.
Jennifer, one thing people often overlook when managing their time is self-care. How do you incorporate self-care into your schedule?
That's such a great point. I make it a priority to schedule time for things that help me recharge, whether that's reading, going for a walk, or simply relaxing with a cup of tea.
That's important. I think a lot of people feel guilty for taking breaks or making time for themselves, but it's actually essential for maintaining productivity.
Absolutely. If you don't take care of yourself, you'll eventually burn out, and then you won't be able to manage your time or anything else effectively.
Exactly. I've learned that self-care is part of the bigger picture of time management. It's not about cramming as much as possible into your day, but about using your time in a balanced way.
Right? Taking time for yourself helps you recharge and come back to your tasks with more energy and focus.
It's all about balance, and self-care is a key component of that.
Procrastination is a big challenge for many people, including myself. Tomas, how do you deal with it?
I think everyone struggles with procrastination at some point. For me, I try to break tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces so they don't seem as overwhelming.
That's a great strategy. I also try to identify why I'm procrastinating. Sometimes it's because I'm not clear on what I need to do, or I feel overwhelmed by the task.
Yes, once you understand why you're procrastinating, it's easier to find a solution. For example, if I'm avoiding a task because it feels too big, I'll set a timer for 10 minutes and just start. Often, that's all it takes to get going.
I love that. Sometimes just starting is the hardest part. Once you get over that initial hurdle, it's much easier to keep going.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Taking small steps is better than doing nothing at all.
One thing we haven't touched on yet is setting boundaries. I find that having clear boundaries, both in personal and professional life, is key to effective time management. What's your take, Tomas?
I completely agree. Without boundaries, it's easy to let other people's priorities take over your day. For example, constantly saying yes to every request at work can leave you feeling overburdened and unable to focus on your most important tasks.
Exactly, and that can quickly lead to burnout. I used to struggle with saying no because I didn't want to disappoint anyone, but I've learned that setting boundaries is essential for my own well-being and productivity.
That's a great lesson. Saying no doesn't make you less helpful, it actually allows you to give more energy to the tasks and people that truly matter. I've also started setting focus times in my day where I don't take meetings or answer emails. It's amazing how much you can accomplish when you're not constantly interrupted.
That's such a smart strategy. I think people often forget that they're in control of their own schedules. By setting boundaries, you're taking ownership of your time.
Absolutely. It's about creating space to do your best work, but also to take care of yourself. If you don't set those boundaries, other people's needs will fill up your entire day.
That's so true. Boundaries are a form of self-care, and they're essential for sustainable time management.
Jennifer, do you ever take time to reflect on how you're managing your time? I've found that regular reflection helps me identify what's working and what needs to change.
Oh, definitely. I actually make it a point to reflect at the end of each week. I'll look back at what I accomplished, what I struggled with, and how I can improve for the following week.
That's a great habit. I think a lot of people are so focused on the day-to-day tasks that they forget to take a step back and evaluate their overall time management.
Exactly. Without reflection, you might keep repeating the same mistakes or inefficient habits. For me, reflection is about becoming more intentional with how I spend my time.
I like that. It's also a good way to celebrate your progress. Sometimes we get so caught up in what still needs to be done that we forget to acknowledge how far we've come.
That's such an important point. Reflection isn't just about identifying areas for improvement, it's also about recognizing your successes and giving yourself credit for the hard work you've put in.
Absolutely. And I think it's helpful to set aside time for reflection, just like you would for any other task. It doesn't have to be long, but even 10 minutes at the end of the week can make a big difference.
Agreed. Reflection is a powerful tool that can really enhance your time management over the long term. Let's talk about multitasking for a minute. Tomas, do you think multitasking helps or hinders time management?
Oh, I definitely think it hinders it. I used to believe that multitasking made me more efficient, but I've since learned that it actually divides your focus and makes it harder to do any task well.
Same here. I used to pride myself on being a great multitasker, but I've realized that multitasking often leads to mistakes and takes more time in the long run. It's better to focus on one task at a time.
Exactly. Research has shown that the brain isn't designed to handle multiple complex tasks at once. When you switch back and forth between tasks, you lose time and momentum because your brain has to readjust.
That's a great point. I've found that single-tasking, focusing on one task until it's done, actually helps me get more done in less time. And the quality of my work improves, too.
Absolutely. And I think there's a certain sense of satisfaction that comes from fully completing a task before moving on to the next one. It's much more fulfilling than juggling several things at once and not finishing any of them completely.
That's so true. It also helps reduce stress, as multitasking can be overwhelming. By focusing on one thing at a time, you allow yourself to give your full attention and energy, which is much more manageable.
Plus, it can lead to better results. When you concentrate on a single task, you're more likely to catch mistakes and produce higher quality work. Multitasking often means things fall through the cracks.
Absolutely. It's all about working smarter, not harder. By avoiding multitasking and focusing on one task at a time, you can actually accomplish more with less effort.
Exactly. And if you find yourself tempted to multitask, try to remind yourself of these benefits. It's all about creating habits that align with effective time management.
Tomas, let's discuss the importance of taking breaks. It might seem counterintuitive, but taking regular breaks can actually improve your productivity. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. Taking breaks is crucial for maintaining high levels of productivity. When you work for long periods without a break, your focus and efficiency tend to decrease.
Exactly. I try to follow the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. It helps me stay focused and prevents burnout.
That's a great method. I also find that taking a short walk or doing something completely different during breaks can help reset my mind and boost creativity.
Yes, changing your environment or doing a physical activity can really help refresh your mind. It's important to step away from your work and give yourself a chance to recharge.
Agreed. And breaks aren't just about resting, they can also be opportunities to review what you've done so far and plan your next steps. It's a good way to stay organized and keep your tasks on track.
Absolutely. Breaks help prevent mental fatigue and keep you motivated throughout the day. It's all about finding the right balance between work and rest.
And remember, breaks don't have to be long. Even a few minutes can make a big difference in your overall productivity and well-being.
Exactly. So, make sure to incorporate regular breaks into your work routine. It's a simple but effective strategy for better time management and productivity. Tomas, how do you feel about using technology to help with time management? There are so many apps and tools available these days. Do you have any favorites?
I think technology can be a huge asset for time management. I personally use several apps for task management and scheduling. One of my favorites is Todoist for keeping track of tasks and deadlines. That's a great tool. I use Google Calendar to manage my schedule and set reminders for important tasks. It's really helpful for visualizing my day and keeping everything organized. Yes, Google Calendar is fantastic for that. And apps like Trello can be great for project management, especially if you're working with a team. It helps keep everyone on the same page and track progress.
Absolutely. Trello is great for collaboration. I also use Evernote for note-taking and organizing ideas. It's a versatile tool that helps me keep track of information and stay organized.
Evernote is a good choice too. And let's not forget about time tracking apps like Toggle, which can help you understand where your time is going and identify areas for improvement.
Good point. Time tracking can be eye-opening and help you make more informed decisions about how to allocate your time. Technology really offers a lot of options to enhance time management.
Definitely. The key is to find the tools that work best for you and integrate them into your routine. Technology can be a powerful ally in managing your time effectively.
Absolutely. So explore different tools and find what suits your needs. It's all about making technology work for you to improve your time management skills. Tomas, procrastination is something many people struggle with. What are some strategies you use to overcome it?
Procrastination can be a tough hurdle. One strategy I find effective is breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. It makes the task seem less daunting and easier to start.
That's a great approach. I also find that setting clear deadlines and holding myself accountable helps a lot. Sometimes, just committing to a timeline can provide the push needed to get started.
Agreed. And another tip is to identify the underlying reasons for procrastination. Sometimes it's fear of failure or lack of interest. Addressing these root causes can help you tackle procrastination more effectively.
Absolutely. Understanding why you're procrastinating can provide insights into how to overcome it. It's also helpful to create a positive work environment and eliminate distractions.
Yes, creating an environment conducive to focus can make a big difference. And rewarding yourself for completing tasks can provide motivation and make the process more enjoyable.
That's a great point. Rewards can act as incentives and make tasks feel more manageable. Even small rewards can provide the motivation needed to push through procrastination.
Exactly. And remember, overcoming procrastination is a gradual process. Be patient with yourself and keep experimenting with different strategies until you find what works best for you.
Absolutely. With the right strategies and mindset, you can overcome procrastination and improve your time management skills. Tomas, let's talk about prioritization. How do you determine what tasks are most important and ensure you're focusing on them?
Prioritization is key to effective time management. I usually start by identifying my top priorities for the day and week. I use a method like the Eisenhower matrix to categorize tasks based on urgency and importance.
That's a solid approach. I also like to use a priority list where I rank tasks by importance. It helps me focus on what really matters and avoid getting caught up in less important tasks.
Exactly. And it's important to be flexible with your priorities. Sometimes unexpected tasks or changes can come up, so being adaptable and reassessing priorities regularly is crucial.
Agreed. Prioritization isn't just about making a list. It's about continuously adjusting and staying focused on your most important goals. It's also helpful to regularly review and update your priorities.
Absolutely. And don't forget to communicate your priorities with others if you're working in a team. It helps align everyone's efforts and ensures that everyone is on the same page.
That's a great point. Clear communication about priorities can prevent misunderstandings and ensure that everyone is working towards the same objectives.
Exactly. Effective prioritization helps you stay organized and ensures that you're making progress on the tasks that matter most.
Absolutely. So take the time to prioritize your tasks and stay adaptable to changes. It's a key component of successful time management. Tomas, achieving a balance between work and personal life is something many people struggle with. What are your thoughts on maintaining that balance?
Balancing work and personal life is crucial for overall well-being. One strategy I use is setting clear boundaries between work time and personal time. When my work day ends, I make a conscious effort to disconnect and focus on personal activities.
That's a great strategy. I also find that scheduling time for personal activities and making it a priority helps maintain that balance. It's important to have dedicated time for relaxation and hobbies.
Absolutely, scheduling personal time helps ensure that you're not neglecting your own needs and interests. It's also important to communicate your boundaries to others so they respect your personal time.
Exactly. Communication is key to maintaining a healthy balance. And it's important to regularly evaluate and adjust your balance as needed. Sometimes work demands can change, and it's crucial to reassess your priorities.
Agreed. Regularly assessing your work-life balance helps you stay on track and prevent burnout. It's about finding what works best for you and making adjustments as needed.
Absolutely. Achieving balance is an ongoing process, and it requires conscious effort. But with the right strategies and mindset, you can maintain a healthy work-life balance and improve your overall well-being.
Exactly. So, make time for yourself, set boundaries, and regularly evaluate your balance. It's essential for both productivity and personal happiness.